The digestive system is the system responsible for breaking down food into smaller substances that the body can use. At the end of this chapter, you should know the following: that the anatomy of the digestive system and that their structure determines its roles in digestion, which is the breakdown of food, and how the digestive system physically and chemically breaks down food into smaller substances called macromolecules for the absorption and use by cells. There are 5 functions of the digestive system. The first function is to take in food. Once you have taken in food, you must break the food down into smaller substances. We call this process digestion. Once food is broken down into smaller substances, the cells need to absorb it. So once the cells have taken in these nutrients, the cells will put them back together into something that the body can use. This process is called assimilation. And finally, anything not used by the body is eliminated as waste. There are 2 types of digestion. The first type is physical digestion. And the best way to explain physical digestion is to give you examples. So examples of physical digestion are ripping, chewing, churning, grinding, or mixing. The second type of digestion is chemical digestion. In chemical digestion, digestive secretions, which we'll talk about in a later lecture, break down food. So in the overall process of digestion, we want to take food, preferably something we like, and we want to break it down into smaller pieces or molecules, which you now know is called digestion, right? And those smaller molecules are called macromolecules. And the macromolecules we discussed in biology were proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. And we want to continue to further break down these macromolecules into their monomers. So like, for example, proteins are amino acids, lipids would be fatty acids in a glycerol molecule, carbohydrates would be glucose, and then nucleic acids would be the nucleotides. So once we've broken the food into smaller substances, right, we want the cells to take them in. And we call this absorption. And once these cells have absorbed these nutrients, then these cells can reassemble them into something that the body can use. So we can make new parts, or we can use them for energy. There are 2 divisions of the digestive system. The first division is called the alimentary canal. Which also can be called the digestive tract or the gastrointestinal tract. Now, the alimentary canal is the passageway for food. Some organs of the alimentary canal have dual function. Not only will they serve as a passageway, but some organs can secrete digestive juices. The alimentary canal extends from the mouth all the way to the anus. The second division of the digestive system are the accessory organs. Accessory organs are organs that secrete digestive juices into the alimentary canal to aid in digestion. The accessory organs of the digestive system are the salivary glands, the liver and gallbladder, and the pancreas. Before we talk about the different organs of the alimentary canal and the accessory organs, we need to talk about the membranes found within the abdominal cavity. The membranes found in the abdominal cavity are called the peritoneum, and the peritoneum is a serous membrane. And this serous membrane has four parts. The first part is the membrane, or is the part of the membrane, that actually touches the abdominal organs themselves. We call this the visceral peritoneum. Then you have a part of the serous membrane that attaches to the inner wall of the abdominal cavity, called the parietal peritoneum. And in between the two membranes is a peritoneal cavity, and this space is filled with peritoneal fluid, which will help reduce friction and act as a shock absorber. Another membrane in the digestive system that connects the different parts of the small intestines to one another is called the mesentery. And the mesentery is connective tissue. That connects the parts of the small intestines to one another. You can see that embedded in this mesentery are blood vessels, and these blood vessels will deliver nutrients and oxygen to the different parts of the small intestine. The last of the membranes of the digestive system are called the omentums, and there are two omentums. The first omentum is called the lesser omentum. The other omentum is called the greater omentum. The lesser omentum connects the lesser curvature of the stomach to the inferior side of the liver. So here's the lesser omentum, and you can see that the lesser omentum attaches the lesser curvature of the stomach to the inferior side of the liver. The greater omentum is a membrane that looks more like a fat pad that attaches the greater curvature of the stomach. To the intestines. So here's the greater omentum, and you can see that the greater omentum attaches the greater curvature of the stomach to the intestines. And this greater omentum will cover all of the intestines. And you can see that the greater omentum is yellow, which means it's consistent or consists of fat.